Well, kind of figured that my garlic should be coming up. And as you can see, it is. Yep, it sure is. And that excites me. You know, garlic. Oh, you know, an Italian, right? And that's what I am. I like my garlic. And now we have a stand of garlic. And there's even a little one right there. So, quite a bit of starts. Here's another one. Oh, I do like that. Now, we do have other things in this garden that I was wondering. That's garlic there coming up. But down below, I get some of this dead stuff out of there, folks. See that green? That's kale. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm sorry. I kind of think that that's... Well, I guess I'll have to wait and see. I don't know what that is. That's grass. Now we're going to want that out of there. Real easy to pull out in this here. What I was hoping is that the kale would come up. Now, I don't know. There's enough. I see green down in there. I think that kale's going to come back. Now, what I don't know is if any of this lettuce will come back. I have a feeling like some of the things that I planted last year, like my asparagus right there, may come back. And I think there's a little spot right there. If I'd have had a hoop or a hotbed cover over this, man, I think I'd have had stuff through the winter. And I'm learning about raised beds, and I'm learning about my zone. See if I can. I'm learning about my zones. Now this is blueberry, and I'm assuming that the blueberries have made it through the winter okay. And especially these over here. These are the big plants that my boy bought. And I think I've learned something. He's taught me something, that you buy the biggest and the best. It costs more money, but your chances of survival is a whole lot better. Why? Because it has a bigger root ball. And that alone is very, very important. Somewhere in here, well, I'm guessing somewhere right in this area here should be some comfrey that I planted. And I knew that it was going to take time for it to come up. Most of these roots here are my acorn squash. And the acorn squash, of course, is not going to come back. That's a summer. Well, whether it's summer or winter, it's just that squash ain't going to make it. It's not going to come back. My blackberries should. We've had a very mild winter. My leaves that I've laid down, I have a good bed of leaves here. Look at that grass. That's weed right there. That's weed grass. All that's weed grass, and it's coming up big time. Looks like a lawn. And it probably pretty much is. I've got a lot of leaf bags left, and that's going to be used as I pull out these tomato cages. And now that the weather is, it's supposed to be, folks, it's supposed to be close to 60 this week, 57 degrees. That's crazy for the end of January and February. I mean, we could be minus 10 this time of year. But is that climate change? Nah, it could be. The climate's changing. Is it some catastrophic event? Nah, it's just the earth goes through its changes. That's my opinion. I may change my opinion, but I got a lot to do in this garden, and I think it'll work now. I think that these cages have, yep, I pulled that root up. That tells me that the roots are now dead. Pretty much dead, anyhow. There might be a little bit of life in there. Hard to believe. Look at that. Them roots are still struggling to survive. Well, I'm not going to start over with those roots, I can tell you. Would be an interesting test to see if I could save some roots and put it in a pot and see if if it'd come up by the roots, and see if I could do that without planting seed. What about you? Have you ever done that? Have you ever searched your garden for roots, saved those roots, or transplanted them before your winter was, you know, in the middle at the worst, to see if you could salvage those roots and just continue the next year with the same roots? I never have. Well, it's a thought. Maybe some of you can tell me whether that's even possible. This is a pear tree, and by the looks of it, if it don't get froze out too bad, it's got a lot of blossoms. That over there, wow, lots and lots and lots of blossoms. All my trees are blossoming like it's March or something, you know. And I'm going to guess that my raspberries are probably starting to pop. This is a rhubarb plant, and it probably won't be long and it'll be sticking its heads up because my irises are up. This here's cherry trees, and it's popping. Now, by the looks of it, it was trying to go, and then it probably froze back some. But a cherry tree is pretty hard wood, and I doubt very much it's going to pop out real fast. Hardwood's a lot slower. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I've seen. Okay. My raspberry patch is totally out of control. And I grow a nice batch of weeds. Wouldn't you say? Last year, it was as tall as my head. And that was after my son went down through the middle with the rototiller and made a path right through the middle, but it just grew back. Look at that lawn. What looks like lawn. Oh my God. I got a lot of rototilling to do to knock those weeds. I just might mow. I don't know how much of that I'll keep. I got some trees in my garden that I need to dig out or pull out or something. I don't even know what kind of tree it is, so I need to figure it out. Yeah, right down through the middle here, that's where he took a rototiller and he rototilled right on through there. They made a nice, about a 2-foot row, or 2-foot space, and we rototilled on the edges, and it opened it up and the sun got in there real nice. Boy, we had a nice batch of raspberries last year. Now, is that the proper way to do it? You can comment about that. I'm looking forward to starting this project, and it's getting real close for me to do that. Pretty quiet out here, except for me blabbing. It's a beautiful morning. It's beautiful. This is my project this year. I haven't figured it all out. I'll figure it out as I go. But I got some good ideas. And I got to start on it. Well, these pallets are my sides, and they'll be put up, and that'll give me about a 4-foot rise off the ground, and then from there I'll structure the framework. Looks like my neighbor's over there, and he's working on his roof, trying to save it.